You're listening to the Love Unplugged podcast, episode 69. I'm still in the process of recreating my goals and my action plans, and I'm learning so much more about myself and what I truly want in my life. And it's such a great process, but I'm enjoying it this time around on such a deeper level because I'm working my own program, Make Me Proud. So today I kind of want to chat about something that has been coming up frequently for me in the stage that I'm at, and that's consistency. So let's jump on in. Hey there, I'm your host, Jessica Fragon, and I am passionate about doing the inner work needed to reach your goals. Let me be your guide as we navigate all the fears and insecurities that surface when it's time to step outside of your comfort zone. Along with my knowledgeable guests and industry experts, I'm here to teach you how to reawaken your life purpose and passion and create the steps to turn your intentions into action. Ultimately, my goal is to empower you to rise above those blocks holding you back and start living a life that you are worthy and deserving of. So come on, it's time to slow down, find a comfy spot with your favorite organic tea, and get inspired. Thank you for tuning in to the Love Unplugged podcast. Happy Saturday morning, loves. I'm so happy to be back with you guys again for another Saturday morning. So as I mentioned, I'm in the process of working through my own Make Me Proud goal setting program, and I'm starting from scratch and recreating my goals completely. And I'm determining exactly what I want in my life and why it's important to me and what my action plans are. But in the stage that I'm at right now, I'm taking it one step further and I'm defining how I want to show up in my business. What content do I want to put out and when for my podcast and my blog? And consistency is something that I strive for, but I always struggled with it in the past. I didn't have a clear purpose or plan. I kind of just went with the flow. And if I missed a day or more sometimes, that was completely okay with me. But I'm realizing more and more that consistency is key. I'm realizing that I need to show up for you, my community, when I say I'm going to. And what hit me is that I need to remember that what I share might be the exact thing that someone in my community needs to hear one day. And even if it's just one person that benefits from whatever I'm sharing, that to me is reason enough for me to show up and be there. Because I always felt that even if I help just one person with everything that I share and put out in the world, to me, that makes it all worth it. But it's work, right? It's a lot of work. Even putting out one episode a week, that's a lot of work. So doing 2 episodes a week, that's crazy. And for me, I know there's people that do more than that, but for me, that's a lot. And sometimes it is super tough to stay consistent. To be honest, I contemplating skipping this Saturday's episode because honestly, I'm just so exhausted from the week. And I really just had no idea what I wanted to talk to you guys about because my brain honestly left the building like hours ago. It might have left yesterday, to be honest. It felt like such an uphill battle for me, pushing one of those huge monster truck tires up a really steep hill full of those jaggedy rocks, making it even harder to push it up. And I didn't know what to do. I was like, am I going to skip it or am I going to show up? And then it hit me. I feel like I've gotten hit with a lot of things lately. But it hit me that this is a topic that I need to talk about. Consistency. It's something that I'm trying to work for myself in being more consistent in my business, in my personal life, etc. And I think that it is important to share with you guys as well. So even when it gets tough, even when you are so tired, stay consistent. Push yourself to show up for your community or for yourself, depending on whether your goal is professional or personal. And it's such a great feeling getting things done and feeling proud that even though it was tough and you really didn't feel like it, that you got it done and you stayed consistent with your actions and what you plan to do. So how do we stay consistent? What do we do to make sure that we are showing up when we want to show up and when we say we're showing up and we're getting things done according to whatever plans we have in place? So here are my 3 tips for you. So 1, make a plan. Determine exactly what your goals are, what you want to achieve, what you need to do to get there. When you know what you need to do, it makes it so much easier to stick to it because you aren't sitting there trying to figure it out while you're trying to be consistent. That's a great way to distract you and to, help you procrastinate and whatnot. Just like I used to do in the past with my blog. I had no plan. I had no goals. I just kind of went with the flow. And that was a recipe for being inconsistent, if that's a word. So for example, with my business, what I've done is I've broken out all the different things that I do. So I have things that I need to accomplish in my business. So when I'm working on the business itself, the blog, the podcast, the Make Me Proud program, and then my email subscribers. And then within that, I am determining exactly what content, what types of topics and things that I want to discuss on each of those. And then I go down further and I break it down as to what the schedule looks like in when I want to show up for my community in those areas. So when do I want to post? What does that schedule or that structure look like? And then make a plan out of it. So plan ahead and determine exactly what I'm going to be sharing when and just have it all done ahead of time. Otherwise, if I'm leaving things for the last minute and I'm trying to figure things out kind of on the whim and whatnot, I'm never going to do it. That's just the way that it is with me, unfortunately. So my second tip is to really figure out why whatever you're wanting to achieve, whatever goal it might be, why is it so important to you that you achieve it? And don't just stay surface level here. Really dig deep as to why it's so important to you. What would your life look like if you didn't achieve that goal? What would you be missing out on? Really just dig deep into that why and really get connected to it, because I feel like if you are not connected to that why, if you don't have a deep-rooted connection to it, it's not important to you enough for you to put in the work that you need to do to get there. And unfortunately, great things are not always easy. So you have to overcome some things sometimes to get to whatever goal you're working on, whether it's, limiting blocks, limiting beliefs. Maybe you're strapped for time and your schedule's crazy and you need to show up and you need to carve out things that may not be a priority at that time. Maybe it's like hanging out with your friends on a Friday night. That's hard, saying no to your friends and not being there when you want to because you're trying to work towards this goal. There's just so many things that can come up in life that can make it difficult for you to show up and to continue to work towards that goal, whatever it might be. And if you are not deep-rooted, connected to that why, as to why it's really important to you, you're most likely not going to follow through with it. So I feel like that is so critical in anything that you are doing. If you are trying to accomplish anything, you should be really connected to why it's important to you. And my third tip is to celebrate the wins, whether they're small or they're large. I see so many of us, including myself, where you're just constantly moving from one thing to the next because you're moving at such a fast pace and you're trying to achieve those goals and you're trying to move faster than ever, and you just completely forget to acknowledge everything that you've done. Acknowledge where you're at. You've taken this huge step, you've accomplished this huge goal or whatever, and you haven't even celebrated it. It's been such a huge thing that you've been working towards and you completely bypassed it. Which for me, I've done this so many times where I'm just like, okay, done, check, moving on to the next. And I don't even acknowledge the fact that I accomplished the goal. I took the step and I did it, and that to me blows my mind that we are working so hard, yet we're not celebrating ourselves and how we're showing up and what we're doing and whatever that might be. So I think regardless of whether it's a small step that you took towards a big goal or it's a big goal that you accomplished, set some reminders for yourself to celebrate those wins. break open a bottle of wine, have a movie night, or go out for dinner, or do something for yourself. Maybe a spa day, or maybe getting a pedicure, or getting your hair done, or, spending some quality time with friends or family, or, your partner, and things like that. Figure out what would be a good celebration for you. So what types of things would you really enjoy doing or having if you got to that goal or you accomplished that step? Write them down, things like that, and then plan them out so that you know that if you get this done, you get to do this, or you get to have this experience, or, you get a glass of wine. It could be big or small, it doesn't matter, but figure out what celebrations mean the most to you and then plan them into your schedule with your goals and your actions. I think that's super important, and I think that's going to help you and propel you forwards because, who doesn't want to celebrate, right? So those are my 3 tips for trying to be consistent. These are the things that I've been doing and that I'm going to continue doing as I move forward in my business and as I figure out exactly all of my goals that I want to accomplish in the next 3 years and what that looks like. I hope that this has helped you and given you some ideas on what you can do to stay consistent in your life. But I would love to hear from you. So if you guys want to connect with me, head on over to Instagram. My handle is @ProjectLoveCo. Send me a DM. I love hearing from you guys. What are you struggling not being consistent with? What are you trying to be consistent with? What has been working for you? Did you apply any of my tips? Did it help you in any way? I would just love to hear from you guys. You can also rate and review the episode and let me know what you guys think through there as well. Or you can connect with me through my website by signing up for my love letters. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday, and I hope that you guys take some time to invest in yourselves today. I'm Jessica, and thanks for tuning in today to Love Unplugged, the podcast. If there are any questions or topics you'd love answered on the show, head on over to www.projectloveco.com and share your request with me. If you haven't yet, go to iTunes and subscribe, rate, and review this podcast and share it with a loved one. Your feedback means the world to me, and the community we've created is what fuels our discussions here. After all, this is all for you. Join me next time for another unplugged conversation.